Hey everybody! So today is day 2 of the 40-day Parasite cleanse that I am undertaking, and it's been going really well. Usually day 2 and 3 for me on a cleanse, I'm really tired, and I am today, not as badly as I have been in the past though, and I think a lot of that has to do with the pre-cleansing that I did prior to starting. I have done this both ways. I have not pre-cleansed, and I can tell you that the detox symptoms were a little more harsh for me. And then I have pre-cleansed like I did. I didn't fully give up animal protein, but I gave up dairy and coffee and sugar, which the dairy was the last one to go a couple days before. That made a huge difference, I think. We'll see on day 3, which is usually my hard day. But I wanted to take just a second because I usually get a lot of questions about the protein. People are so super fixed on protein, it cracks me up, especially people that work out regularly. And from a personal training perspective, this is what I hear all the time. I gotta get enough protein, get enough protein. Really what you should be focused on majority of the time is really need to get enough nutrients, and that's where most people are lacking in general. And tracking everything to these minute little tiny grams is exhausting and not really realistic for you long term. However, if we're talking about protein, this is your mega source of protein while on the 40-day Parasite cleanse. And I'm just going to pop one out and show you what they look like. These are the Super Amino 23s, and these are amazing. And I'll tell you a couple different things that happen when you utilize them. So as a protein, everybody knows or should know that protein takes a little while to digest, and it's a real process that goes on in your body. And it can, if it's animal protein specifically, your body, when it's breaking it down, there are some toxins that are derived from that process. No matter what, it doesn't matter whether it's grass-fed, beef or industrialized farmed beef. There's going to be more toxins, obviously, with the latter. However, the process that your body has to undergo to digest it and process it and absorb it and get it where it needs to go causes some stress on your body. So if you think about it this way, you're having so much protein and people are so hyper fixed on protein, and not necessarily the sources of protein, just protein in general. You need to know that on your whole body, and specifically your digestive system, is really stressed in order to deal with that. So it's kind of a tricky thing because it's like you need it, but then what's going on the other end? So when you're on this cleanse, the cool thing is you don't have that stress on your body because the aminos are pre-digested and they don't have to get filtered through your liver and go through that whole process. So the cool thing about it is you get almost all of it, so it's bioavailable. And 2, you don't have that stress on your body, so your body is more at a rested state. Now, what does that mean? That means that your body is able to do the other things that it needs to do, the focus that it needs to do, which it would probably like to do more often, is detoxing. So I hear all the time people are like, you don't need to cleanse because your body has a natural cleansing system in it and it just does it, it's fine. And that's true if your body is working at an optimal rate and you're not overloading your body with toxins, because your body can only process so many at a time. So if you're someone with a really super stressful life, or which causes toxins, or you're eating things that are toxic and full of GMOs and you're not eating organic and blah blah blah, then that means how much toxins are you left with that your body wasn't able to get rid of that day. And so it's accumulating in your body. So yes, you have that system, but that doesn't mean it's working at its best. And for some people like me with MTHFR, the gene mutation, mine works even less well. It struggles. So when I do something like this, I am giving my body a real break, even though I am detoxing more than I would normally, and that can be a little tough on the body. What I'm putting in my body is actually helping with that situation. And so your body is much more balanced and it's able to do what it's supposed to do normally, and maybe a little more because of what you're putting in there. So you're putting in huge amounts of nutrients with very low calories, and at the same time, you're putting in this form of protein that doesn't take all that energy and stress on your body to process it. So weirdly, there's a couple other little benefits to taking aminos. One is it's really great on skin tightening, which we all know as someone loses weight, they may have some like loose skin. We don't see that as much with Purium programs because of those aminos. So that's really cool. The other thing is they help with headaches quite a bit, and it helps with muscle fatigue as well. That's pretty huge because for me personally, I have some tissue damage, so I really feel it when my body is detoxing and passing toxins. And I don't feel it so much if I'm using the aminos. It's a huge help. I've done other cleanses, and let me tell you, it's a little different. So I really, really urge people to take a look at this. And also, I will say that today, I have been thinking a little bit more about food and journaling and that kind of thing. And TV is a big one for me. It's like a habit of wanting to eat in front of it. So I really didn't watch any today. Sometimes I'll watch TV when I'm folding laundry or doing something, like it'll be on in the background kind of if I'm washing dishes or something. But for me, if I'm going out or I'm going and doing something and I come back and I'm going to have, my lunch, let's say, I'll throw the TV on and watch TV, which is a horrible habit, I know. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. But I realized it today, and it's not every time, but it's a lot. And I realized today for sure, I was like, oh. And that was when I really wanted something different than what was listed in the flex foods or flex meals, because it was just habit. So it wasn't that I was starving or hungry or anything. It was really based in habit and based in emotion. I see that as a very relaxed time for me where I can just sit there and veg out and nobody needs anything from me. I don't need to be reading something and processing it. I can just veg. I eat my food and I'm so happy. The problem with that for me personally is that I'm not being mindful of the food. I'm not enjoying the food. I'm just zoned out. I waste a lot of time. I eat way longer per se. I end up wanting to finish whatever it was I was watching. And it's okay to have like some mindless time. It's just that I think I was doing a little too much of it. So that's an interesting thing to be paying attention to. But otherwise, pretty great today so far. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. Have a good one. I'll see you on day 3.